This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good night, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for March 21, 2023. And in the news tonight, police probing suspected drowning of German man in St. Anne. The police in St. Anne are probing what is believed to be a case of drowning involving a German man at a beach in Prairie on Monday. The deceased has been identified as 56-year-old Christoph Schobart. It is believed that Schobart suffers from an epileptic condition. Reports are that sometime after midday, Schobart went snorkeling and got into difficulties. He was transported to the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The St. Anne police are investigating. Queen's student safely down from roof. The student who was atop a building at the Queen's School in St. Andrew is now down. The police and the fire department were called to the institution earlier today to handle the situation. It is reported that there was a disturbance at the all-female school involving several students. Some of them reportedly took to the roof. School officials declined to speak with the news team about the incident. Slakiana murder accused denied bail. Roshana Patterson, the man accused of last October's murder of social media influencer Anika Slakiana Townsend, was denied bail when he appeared before the St. James Circuit Court today. Presiding High Court Justice Andrea Thomas made the ruling not to grant bail to Patterson despite an application by his attorney, Diane Myler Barrett, who argued that her client needed medical attention and that the prosecution's evidence against him was circumstantial. Myler Barrett had also indicated that Patterson's safety would be compromised while in remand and that he would not be a flight risk. But in explaining her refusal to grant bail, Thomas pointed to the prosecution's allegations in which Patterson had reportedly given conflicting information to the police regarding his knowledge of Townsend's whereabouts prior to her body being found floating in the sea in Reading, St. James on October 21, 2022. The prosecution also stated that Patterson is currently before the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court for an unrelated case of assault against another woman stemming from an alleged incident in 2018 and that he has been remanded in relation to that charge. The allegations of the Crown are serious enough and sufficient enough to form the view that if granted bail, the accused man will not return. At this time, bail is denied, said Thomas. The matter is set for mention on September 21. Today's bail hearing was the third appointed date for Patterson, following two previously scheduled hearings on December 15, 2022 and on March 9 this year. Patterson was arrested in relation to Townsend's murder on November 2 last year and was formally charged on November 11. Massa Mark comment triggers opposition walkout of Parliament. Members of the parliamentary opposition walked out of Parliament earlier this afternoon after a verbal spat with the Speaker of the House, Marissa Dalrymple-Philibert. The verbal tussle was triggered by a comment made by Finance and the Public Service Minister, Dr. Nigel Clark, as he closed the budget debate in Parliament this afternoon. Clark seemed to have opened a proverbial can of worms when he referred to Leader of the Opposition Mark Golding as a Massa Mark. Before calling Golding Massa Mark, the Finance Minister accused the opposition leader of describing laborites as damn fools. That never sound like Marky G, Clark quipped. However, the word Massa used by Clark to describe Golding seemingly irritated Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Southwest, Angela Brown-Burke, who rose on a point of order. While attempting to explain her point of order to the Speaker, she was heckled by Member of Parliament for Kingston West, Desmond Mackenzie. Brown-Burke shot back, "Shut your mouth." This triggered further uproar in the House, with the Speaker charging that Brown-Burke used unparliamentary language. Dalrymple-Philibert told the St. Andrew Southwest MP to withdraw the comment before making her point of order. However, Brown-Burke protested, arguing that Clark's Massa Mark comment was also unparliamentary language. In a sotto voce comment, controversial St. Catharines Southwest MP Everald Warmington said, "It is not unparliamentary, he's a descendant of a slave master." Brown-Burke again protested to the Speaker, referencing Warmington's sotto voce comment. However, the speaker said that she could not rule on a remark that she did not hear. As the speaker insisted on Brownberg's withdrawal of the shut-up remark made to Mackenzie, the opposition MP resisted, saying she would not retract on the speaker's terms. Members of the opposition, including Golding, walked out of the chamber before Clark completed his presentation. Philibert is to make a ruling next week in relation to the outburst by Brownberg. Man shot while working on wall at Holy Trinity High. A section of South Camp Road in Kingston is now cordoned off after a man was attacked and shot while working on the perimeter wall at the Holy Trinity High School. It is reported that the man was working on the wall when he was attacked by unknown assailants. Students and their parents were sent to scampering after an outburst of gunfire. He was assisted to the hospital by a taxi operator. Over 100 illegal guns seized in St. James since year. The number of illegal guns seized by the St. James Police since the start of the year has climbed over the 100 mark. According to Assistant Commissioner of Police Clifford Chambers, as of Monday, March 20, the tally of illegal weapons seized by the St. James Police stood at 103. This is fivefold more than any other police divisions, ACP Chambers told the news. On Sunday, the St. James Police took 3 individuals into custody in connection with the seizure of a semi-automatic pistol and 3 rounds of ammunition during an operation in Maroon Town. Tufton notes post-COVID change in work attitude among Jamaicans. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has said that a scarcity of skilled labor in some sectors locally can be linked to a redefining of how people are now viewing work. While industry leaders have reported that they have recovered from the virtual shutdown of the economy in 2020 as a result of COVID-19, government statistics show that more than 750,000 Jamaicans remain outside the formal labor force. According to Tufton, who was speaking at last weekend's opening of the Omega Medical Hospital in Negril, Westmoreland, the way in which people view work and how they want to work are among the factors contributing to the current shortage of skilled labor. As humanity, we have come to terms with our mortality far more post-COVID than pre-COVID, where we have begun to start questioning how we live, how we work, how much time we spent with loved ones and friends, said Tufton. It's almost as if we are showing a lot more respect for our fragility. He continued, this scarcity of skills is partly due to economic activity, but also partly due to a redefinition of how people want to work and when they work, where they work, and how much time they take off. So it's almost a recalibration or reconfiguration of how society is structured. The minister said that the current attitude towards work, whether voluntary or involuntary, must be viewed within the parameter of the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, which had a profound impact on lives. In a bid to more deeply understand the new trends, Tufton said he is planning to roll out a new initiative to ensure that people can know their health status through early screening to prevent lifestyle-related diseases. The details of this program will be announced during his sectorial debate presentation in another 2 months. If you assess the profile of those who have passed and indeed the profile of our population, most of us have compromised immune systems in a relatively short period of our lives, hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and the cancers of one form or another, said Tufton. I am going to be launching a program that is going to be big on screening, and we are going to partner both with the private sector and the civil society to try and help Jamaicans to know what their health status is, because that is the starting point of adjusting in order to manage, added Tufton. He urged the Jamaicans to pay closer attention to their health status. Don't wait until you fall down with a stroke to know that your cholesterol level is out of whack, said Tufton. If you have truly learned the lessons from COVID, we really ought to believe and buy in and create a gentler society where we become our brother's keeper, reckoning that on our own we are vulnerable, and as a public sector we are vulnerable, and as private sector for profit alone it is going to be vulnerable, added Tufton. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.